Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing great. So today in this video, I will be showing you how you can identify whether there are duplicated rows in your dataset, and if there are, then how to deal with them, how to remove those duplicate rows from your data frame. So let's begin. So I have created a data frame and I am importing pandas library as PD, and I have loaded this data frame. Now this contains order ID, product, quantity, sales amount. So as you can see from the data that there is a particular row 1 and row 2. These two look similar. That means these are duplicated rows. But here we can see it in the tabular form. But say for example, when you are going to deal with large amount of data set which will have millions of rows, it is not at all feasible to identify like this. So we have to use the power of programming. So we can do it programmatically very easily. So what we are going to do is we have to first use the duplicated function of pandas, and we will execute it, and let's see. So it gives a boolean type of values which says if it's duplicated then it will say true, and if it's not then it will give false. Now you will say why it has given false to the first row and the true to the second duplicated row. Why not the other way around? It's because inside these parentheses, if we do not pass any parameter, it by default takes the last as the duplicated row. But if you want to change it, you can change it like keep last. So this way it will give false as the last duplicated row and true as the first duplicated row. But again, this is still not feasible. Still we are looking at the data one by one, and if it's small then we can see, okay, this is a duplicated row. But if in case there is a large amount of data, then we just need to know whether there is a duplicated row or not. Then we can move further to remove that duplicated row. So in order to find that answer, what we will do is we will use the function any, and if any gives us a true value as boolean, that means that particular data frame contains duplicated rows. Now that we have covered half the part of this drop duplicates issue solving, we now need to see how we can remove those duplicated rows. So we can remove it in two ways. One, using the same functionality, that is duplicated, to have the boolean value of each row which is being duplicated and passing it inside a indexing and slicing the data frame based on this particular condition. So we are doing is like we are keeping first as that we want this particular row and we do not need the last row. So it will give true for the last row as duplicated, and we wherever it is true we don't want that. So it will remove all the duplicated rows and it will give us only the unique rows with this. And if I change this to last, it will give me the last duplicated row and it will remove the first duplicated row. And there is another functionality in pandas which is drop duplicates. Here if we directly pass this particular function, it will directly give us the unique rows and it will remove the last duplicated row. And here also by default the parameter is given as first, but we can change it to last and see how it goes. So it has kept the last row, assuming that last is the unique and the first one is the duplicated one. And this is how we can deal with the duplicated rows, where all the values in a particular row is having a duplicate value with another row in the same data frame. So this was it for today's video. So we learned how we can drop the duplicated rows from a data frame using pandas.